Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to Paula's Imperfect Plans. Today I am going to set up my February 23rd paycheck budget. So let's jump on in. So I do know that my pay amount is not going to be correct because I got a raise, but I don't know what my net will factor out to on this paycheck with the raise, because this paycheck has some additional deductions for policies that my first paycheck of the month doesn't have. So I'm just going to budget the old amount. And then I'm anticipating $14.73 as my husband's pay, and that is all the income that I anticipate having during this pay period. So I'm going to come down to our fixed expense. Oh wait, so as our total income, that leaves our total expected income to be $2,703.89. So okay, down into our fixed expenses, I plan on I think I cut some things out because we have an event coming up. So I'm actually going to do nothing for a donation. What I budget for our HELOC, which is our home equity line of credit, our loan, is $500. Our cell phone, I budget $197. For life insurance, that's $131 per paycheck. For our Netflix, that is $12.83 per month, and our Amazon Prime is $7.48. My son goes to a before school program 4 days a week, so I can go into work at 7. So I usually budget $30 per pay period for that. For our vehicle registration, I set aside $50 per month. So I set that aside with the second paycheck, and hopefully I should have enough. That's not coming next due in May. And then I set aside half of the insurance, or not the insurance, the internet payment each paycheck. So that's about $30 will be what's left after what I set aside with what I set aside for the first paycheck. Okay, that didn't work. I was clearly hitting equals instead of plus. All right, so that leaves our total fixed expenses at $958.31. Holy goodness, Paula. If we subtract that from our total expected income, it is $1745.58. So that's what we're bringing down to our variable expenses. We have decreased our variable expenses, or what we count as variable expenses. So $280 will go towards groceries, $100 towards eating out, $50 towards beauty, and then actually drinks, which normally gets $50, is going to get $250. I'll explain why in a second. $140 goes to our allowance, which is mine and my husband's spending on absolutely anything we want. There should be no work meal cost during this. We're not doing family fun. Car washes is $15. Amazon subscriptions, a little bit less subscriptions this month, so I'm budgeting $50, and $0 for massage because that will come out of our self-care envelope that we already have funded. So let's add that up. That leaves our variable expenses at $885, and if I subtract that from the $1745 $45.58 that we had left to budget. That leaves us with $860.58 to budget. So this, I didn't think I could talk and do this at the same time, so it might be faster if I just tell the story now. My son goes to a private school, and so they have a fundraiser every year that's at our local country club. They have dueling pianos as entertainment, and a cash bar, and then they have an auction of items that each class, the kids and the teachers, make together. So it's anyway, big school fundraiser. And so I am budgeting, and I just put it under drinks because the majority of it will probably honestly go to a bar tab for the evening. It is not a cheap bar. It is a fundraiser, et cetera, et cetera. So that extra $200 is going to go. That extra $200 that I put in drinks is for what we will inevitably have as a credit card bill related to that fundraiser. Okay, so I'm coming up to sinking funds, and I plan to save $25 per paycheck for Christmas. That goes right into my high yield savings account online. LP is what we use to heat our home, propane, and I save up. I have a credit on my account right now, but I do save up so that I can purchase as many gallons during the summer, prepay for as many gallons during the summer as I have cash to prepay for, because it costs less in the summer. So I'm at the point of saving up for purchasing that this summer. So $50 is what I'm planning to put towards that with this paycheck. Also online in my high yield savings account. I do the 100 envelope challenge, hoping to put $100 towards that in the high yield for our travel sinking fund. I put $20 aside for kids, $25 aside for vehicle repair and maintenance, also in the high yield. And then for gas, I kind of pilfered from that to come up with that $200. So I'm not planning on saving anything additional. I always put my mileage reimbursement checks, and then I try to do a little bit extra with paychecks, but I do have probably 2 gas fills saved right now in the high yield in the sinking fund. So I felt comfortable not adding additional to that with this paycheck. I do the 52-week challenge forwards and backwards. So I put $53 in that every pay period because that will cover 2 separate envelopes. Also, it goes right online into the emergency fund. Started saving $40 per paycheck into a medical sinking fund. That also goes online in the high yield savings account. I don't know that I even plan to use it very much. I just know that starting January 1st, I no longer had Flex as a benefit at my work. My husband still has Flex, but I had gotten used to having a certain amount, and so I wanted to take some of the money that's no longer getting pulled out to go into a Flex account, save it if we do have big medical expenses. Typically, if we just have a typical, copay and medication refill year, his is going to be more than enough to cover everything. But on the off chance that something has to be done, like he already had to have a CT scan and just whatever, I wanted to have some saved up in case his Flex we do exhaust his Flex. And then cash sinking funds and savings challenges. My cash envelopes is $227. Those basically all go into challenges, which I then use to fund my sinking funds and my, just like cash envelopes, like my household and my kids' envelopes and all of those. So for our sinking funds here, actually, and then I forgot to add another one. I'm also saving right now. I'm adding extra to tattoo, and I'm adding $100 to that right now. So that means that $640 is my total in sinking funds. And if I subtract that from the $860.58 that I had going into that, that leaves me with $220.58 left to budget as we go down into other. Yeah, so I know this isn't right, so like hang on a second, I'm gonna figure my life out and be back. Couple mistakes I made. First of all, for this paycheck, I was looking at just straight up the wrong line on the thing. I am only putting $20 into this. That was one of the areas that into the travel sinking fund, so that'll be envelope 20 that we do for the 100 envelope challenge. So that will change my sinking fund amount here. So that makes $460. That makes $560 because I forgot to add tattoo. $560 total for sinking fund. So then if I subtract the $860.58, that leaves me with $300. Did I still not get it right? Hang on. So I've stumped myself and decided to quit trying. Okay, so my total sinking funds is $560. My leftover going down into other is $300.58. I forgot to add my kids' insurance, which is over here as a fixed income, and I didn't want to redo all of the math. So I'm just not going to do that right now. And that leaves me with $40 in the other category. Which 358 minus 40 is $260.58. And so this is where I'm off because on my spreadsheet under my extra debt right now, the only debt we have is our HELOC. And in addition to the original payment or the budgeted monthly payment, I'm making a principal only payment on it with every paycheck now that I'm focusing on this debt instead of saving for our project. This is where I'm off $50. According to my math right here on this sheet, I'm going to be putting $260.58 on it. That's $50 off from what I have somewhere else, and I have no idea why. And I've even gone through and redone the math. So if any of you notice my error, like if it's obvious to you just by looking at it, like certainly point it out, but otherwise I'm just not really sure what happened because I don't think the error's on here because I redid it. So I am so confused. I'll figure it out later and I'll feel like a total goon because I couldn't get it. But anyway, so according to this, that will be my extra debt payment will be $260.58, which would then leave us with nothing left over in a zero-based budget. So I fixed these categories down here, 270389 to fixed, which is 958.31. Variable expenses is 885, and sinking funds is $300. I still didn't put extra debt in. Oh my goodness, I need to redo it again. $300.58. I thought I had this set up to have everything, but it does not have the extra debt. That's a lie. I redid it, but I didn't the February. Okay, I redid it for the month of March. Okay, so other is $40, so this isn't going to make sense. And the extra debt is $260.58. So if I check my math here, 270389 minus 958.31 minus 885 minus 358 cents minus that's because it's not minus 300. Goodness, that was what was left over. That was not the total sinking funds. The total sinking funds was 560. Okay, so minus 560, minus $40 in other, minus $260.58 in extra debt leaves us with a zero-based budget. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I appreciate it. stay tuned for the next video, and I always come back and close these out showing what we actually spent in each category or where we put things. So I always look forward to following up and seeing you next time. All right, have a good rest of your day, and until next time, bye.